Hi, little chef. I'm catering a murder mystery dinner party for 60 people on the ranch. You heard that right, 60 people. Welcome back to Abbyinthegalley, where sometimes I'm on a yacht and sometimes I'm on a ranch in Florida. I'm taking you along for all the prepping and cooking for this event. So let's start with my absolute favorite crowd pleaser, mac and cheese. But not like cafeteria scoop on your plate and pray mac and cheese. This is elevated, this is indulgent. This is mac and cheese that went to culinary school and now charges for consulting. I'm talking smoked Gouda for depth, sharp cheddar for bite, and yes, Velveeta. I said what I said, it melts like a dream, gives it that silky, creamy texture that your taste buds remember from your childhood. Even if your adult self shops exclusively at Trader Joe's now. I use shell pasta because it's basically a little cheese scoop. The sauce starts with a roux, butter and flour, then I slowly whisk in milk until it thickens like magic. Then the cheeses go in one by one until I have created what I call liquid gold. And don't skimp on the cheese. I want people to eat this and immediately text someone, "You won't believe this mac and cheese." That's the goal. When all's said and stirred, this baby weighs out about 40 pounds. Yes, 40. That's enough mac and cheese to solve world peace. I cool the noodles and cheese sauce separately and tuck them into the fridge to rest overnight because even mac and cheese deserves a nap before the big event. Now we move on to the drumsticks. And not just any drumsticks. Carolina barbecue glazed, dry rubbed, oven roasted drumsticks that are bringing the flavor and the drama. My dry rub is full of love. Brown sugar, salt, pepper, smoked paprika, garlic powder, onion powder, chili powder, and cumin. These babies are gonna slow roast, get cozy, and I'll brush them with a Carolina barbecue sauce and send them back into the oven to caramelize. Sweet, sticky, and smoky. Now onto my southern green beans. I small dice a mountain of onions, smash some garlic, and render a whole lot of bacon. Half of it is for the Brussels and kale salad that I'll prepare later. And the other half is to flavor the green beans for tomorrow. I'm using canned Italian-style green beans. It's just like the ones that you would get at Sonny's. They're reliable, and I love them. Tomorrow, I'll just warm them through in this savory, salty, bacony onion stock I'm building here, and it'll taste just like Grandma made them. As I was cutting up that garlic and onion, I could smell my chicken, so I checked on it, and they looked to be done. So now we cover them in the Carolina barbecue sauce. Next up, the ribs. And honestly, these were the first things I knew I had to put on the menu. And these aren't just like any ribs, these are maple bourbon ribs. I started off with 16 full racks of baby back pork ribs. That's gonna be a lot of bones. I dry rubbed them with my secret blend. Okay, fine, not so secret. Then I slow roast them in the oven, low and slow, until they're tender enough to make grown adults emotional. I finish them with my homemade Bourbon-Maple barbecue sauce that's sticky, sweet, smoky, and a little flirty. Now on to everyone's favorite part of the meal, dessert. And we're making peach cobbler. I'm using 12 large cans of peaches. I'll drain half of them and keep the rest as is. This way we'll get that perfect consistency. Then I'm gonna go in with 3 cups of brown sugar, 3 cups of white sugar, and cinnamon until your heart's content. Give that a nice stir, set it off to the side, and into our pans we'll add 2 sticks of butter each. While that butter is melting in the oven, we'll start working on our batter. We're gonna need 9 cups of flour, 6 tablespoons of baking powder, 8 cups of sugar, and about 3 to 4 cups of milk. You're looking for the consistency of like a pancake batter. We'll grab our pans out of the oven and immediately pour in our batter and then the peaches. This is gonna go back into the oven until it's bubbly and golden brown. And after about 45 minutes, they're done. So I'll take them out, put them on the prep table to cool, and then say hello to the horses. These are actually retired Disney horses. This is JB, Sir Lancelot, and Rambo. Now on to the cornbread and whipped honey butter. This seemed to be everyone's favorite. I baked 2 giant trays of this, and I could honestly eat 1 tray by myself with a spoon. Leave me alone for an hour, I'll take care of it. The cornbread's sweet, little savory, and fully capable of starting a small riot if I forgot to include it. Batter's done, I'll grease up my pans, pour it in, and bake it in a 400-degree oven until it's golden brown. About 2 hours before the event, I'll start on my salad. I'm making kale and Brussels sprout salad. I used to make this salad about once a week when I worked on the yacht because it was such a hit. This is one of my favorite salads of all time. I actually prefer eating kale and Brussels sprouts raw than cooked. I'm preparing the salad for about 65 people, so I'm cutting up 4 big bags of this kale. It comes pre-washed and ready to go. I don't like how large the pieces are, so I just cut them up into bite-sized pieces. Then I'll start working on my 10 pounds of Brussels sprouts. I cut these in half and cut them as thin as possible, like shaved Brussels sprouts. And for the dressing, it's super simple. I do a big drink of olive oil, lemon juice, a little squeeze of honey, and salt and pepper. And for the toppings, blue cheese, craisins, and bacon. And I sometimes add walnuts or pumpkin seeds to give it an extra crunch. Now this is just one of the 3 bowls that I made of this salad. We'll go ahead and give it a toss and plate it up. It was just as much of a hit here at the ranch as it was on the yacht. Right after I'm done prepping the salads, my mom gets there and she has been the greatest help. She organized this whole thing and came up with the whole murder mystery herself. So we're on to setting up the tables, prepping the bar. I've got ranch water and beer, and guests start to arrive at 5:45. While the guests are enjoying cocktail hours and checking out all the clues in the stables, in the garden, in the ceremony space, I'm in here with my mom, working on getting everything set up, plating salads, and there's always time for a dance party. I think this should be the new way I start every event. It put me in such a great mood. Doors opened at 6:30 and the little chefs came to take their seats. Everyone enjoyed the first course of the Brussels sprout and kale salad, while the representatives from each table introduced the characters.
bartender, I get to see and hear a lot of things. I got hats. Hey, Abby. Abbyinthegalley.
What do you want?
We've had the best meal here tonight thanks to you and your great noodles. Thanks, Abby. Unknowingly, you've been using the murder weapon to cook tonight. Thanks for your contribution to solve this mystery. And thanks for the great food.
Yeah!
So first, here's the note. My dear Gabby, please reconsider. CC. Seal the deal. I need Prudence shoe.
Prudence has a shoe?
Yeah, Prudence.
I saw you guys all over here.
Looks like a match.
I want to say one more thing. First of all, thank you so much for being here. I hope you had a blast. I hope you enjoyed everything. And we have actually 2 birthdays in the house. Pam, where's Pam? Pam. Happy birthday to Pam, and happy birthday to bartender Brian. So, happy birthday